think the kids are really important, really, really important. You know, I know I've gone into motherhood in the past 3 years, so I get it's in my focus, but they are the next wave, they're the next generation. And if we want to build a new earth, we have to teach these children things that we needed to learn as children, so that growing into teenagers and adults, we have emotional regulation. We have basic spiritual protection and abilities to clear and keep ourselves safe and feel nice in our bodies, you know. I think
Absolutely.
it's really important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. My partner's kiddos, they're showing a lot of this interaction. They can feel it so intensely. They're all super sensitive.
Hmm.
Um, and it's really been taking a step back and allowing them to have their own space, teach them how to communicate exactly what they're experiencing or seeing at the time,
Yeah.
and then how can they regulate themselves. And that's for
Hmm.
me, it's a combination of the energetic, like what are you seeing, what are you sensing, can you call somebody in, and also like what
Yes.
do you do right now, do you want to go out, do you want to hold a tree, like what does that look like? And it's definitely been, I want to say, the last few weeks a really deep job because they've been running through these energies very intensely. They're feeling
Hmm. Hmm.
all the power play
Yeah.
dynamics, and they're projecting them outwards if they don't understand how to not do that.
Right. 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 And imagine, like, you know, luckily enough, obviously, my children, I'm blessed to be able to stay at home with my children and be with them every day. But my sister, she's 12, she's in school. And there's a lot of kids I know that are also in school. Obviously, there's so many.
Yep,
And I'm seeing that power dynamic play out in schools at the moment. And
very much so.
God, it's kind of, it's triggering me a little bit because I remember being in school myself. And a lot of, so obviously I'm doing all this reprogramming and all this new, as I'll mention it at the end, guys, but I've got a new workshop coming up, all on this new energy work that I've been doing since January, February time.
Yeah,
And all of these wounds have been going back to, a lot of them obviously originate in childhood. This is where your wounds originate.
yeah.
And a lot of them, though, interestingly, are in school. And I'm quite shocked by this because I'm quite a blender in a, not now, but as a child, I was avoid conflict, let's just blend in, you know. And so I wasn't a problem child. I was definitely not an aggressive child. I was very basic, average grades, you know. I just kind of just did my own little thing in my own little world, doing my little thing. Talked a lot. That was in all my report cards. She talks too much. That were it. Like, they were, you know, they were asked too many questions and talks too much. Perfect, just like I am now, you know. But I didn't really do anything wrong. I got a little bit cheeky in teenage years, you know. But I look back to school now, and when I'm doing the reprogramming, I'm like, oh my jeez, so much of me shrinking and becoming this smaller version to please and fit in a box and not be a problem child actually came from school in my
Right.
programming, and I'm really shocked by it. And I guess that was 20 odd year ago, you know. So imagine now when we're in this different, because it's not as blatant now like it was 50 odd year ago. They were literally beating the kids in school. So, you know, we don't experience that, but we're experiencing this manipulation of the mind, and they are targeting the kids' minds as they always have been, but in this way it's very subtle. It's very, oh, we'll care and we'll look after them, we'll protect them, and we'll also brainwash them in the background, you know. And I'm not saying this is every single person in every single school. I don't think everyone intends to do this, but I do think the system is created with that intention in mind. And there definitely is this power play going on to push agendas and frequencies and things into children's minds that are not natural origin of their own creation. I'm not saying the right, wrong, left, right, whatever it is. I'm just saying they're not what they should be even thinking about. Some of this stuff, it's bizarre, you
Yeah.
know, and the way it's being delivered with such force and such, you will take this information as fact, and the way facts are being manipulated. I'm just a little bit, I guess, shocked because I feel like we were shifting into this, you know, newer frequency, which we are. But I guess the collapse of that is looking not how I thought it would look. It's different. It's different. The power play is different to how I thought
Yeah,
it'd play
it's
out.
different.
What's your take on that? Do you have any experience with that?
Oh, totally. Yeah, no, I've been in and out of the schools with the kiddos this last week, and I would have to say it's very absolute. There's a lot of absolutes in there, and it's taking away choice. And it's been picked up the last little while. There's a few scenarios that I've had with the kiddos coming in because they chose something different than what was provided to them, and that's where they got busted, right?
The little divergence.
Yeah. They're like, nah, I'm not playing that. And it's one of those where it's like, yeah, no, I get that, and I want to keep the truth, that their truth for them, and give them the
Mm.
choice in there. And also, like, how do I work with the system for right now? Because eventually we want to get them out of there into something like that's not something that's great,
Yeah.
something that's community oriented, right? But it's not quite
Mhm.
there yet. We're not quite at that point where that's
No, we're not. We're not. And like, I sit with this all the time. I really do because, I did the same thing when I was pregnant and giving birth. Like, you always have that, am I doing the right thing? Even though it feels like the right thing, there's always that moment of like, is this the right thing? And I've definitely been having that lately because Fee's so social. He loves to play and be out with people. And we go to I call it like a forest school. It's like a forest school, but your parents go with them. And, he has the best time. And over the past few months, I've been planning all the retreats and events for this year, next year. And one came to me and it's called the Little Wildlings. And I just love it because, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore creating the retreats, the spiritual retreats, the workshop days. Like, that's me, that's who I am. But also now who I have become is a mother. And I, like you, it's not there yet. I look around for things, events, places, people, mum groups that are my vibe. And they just don't exist. And it makes me really sad. And yeah, I feel a bit alone in this world. I feel a bit lost. And I'm sure there is hundreds of mums out there like me and dads and families and kids. And I'm sure there is millions, but I'm just yet to find them in this local community. And so I guess we were talking to someone the other day and she was like, well, you're just going to have to build it out. And I was like, probably, yeah. And then that's what I came to. I was like, you know what? Maybe we just build this community ourselves. Maybe, And so that's where the idea for the workshop day came from. So I've got one workshop day coming in June. 28th of June is on reprogramming and reparenting the inner child. I'll talk about that later. And then the other workshop day is Little Wildlings, and that's in August in the UK. I'm thinking the 22nd of August, that's the date we've got scheduled in right now. And we've got an area in Leeds in West Yorkshire that we're confirming the venue. And that's going to be, again, all this stuff. It's not going to be too, obviously, spiritual because we've got the children there, but it's me, so of course it's going to be, we've got nervous system regulation, nature-led stuff, activities, all this. This is what it's saying. It's not there yet. It does not exist yet, And so in this power dynamic thing, let's build a zone. Let's start building a community of people. Let's build a like-minded tribe. Let's start showing up as his authentic self. Let's give the kids a free place to roam without interference of the minds. Let's give them safety. Let's give them peace. Let's give them protection. Let's give them connection and community. And it's actually making me a bit emotional because it's all the things I would have wanted as a child. And when I've been doing this inner child healing, I'm going to have to turn this emotion off because I'm actually getting emotional. I was sat in the kitchen the other day and I've got a beautiful garden now. It's beautiful. I'm so grateful. And I was looking out the window and the kids were playing. And my inner child came through. Gosh. And she was running around the garden with the kids. And I just thought to myself, like, imagine if I'd have had this when I was a child. A place to run around the garden naked, listening to Bob Marley. And just feel so unfilteredly free and not feel that, like, fear and suffocation, And it just felt so liberating to watch her with them. And I was just like, wow, we're actually getting there, We are getting there. I don't know. Yeah, so I think we need to start creating it for each other, for the babies. And I think we need to just build something new without fear that we're going to be judged and it's going to be labelled. So what? We probably are, but is it not time that we just step into the authenticness of who we are and what we are right now and build that for each other and also for our own inner children? I did not realise how healing being a mum would be because I get to heal her too. And it's quite special. And if you can't tell, she's very present at the moment and I'm very emotional. No, she's allowing herself to be heard very loud and clear, my inner child. She's like, I'm here and I'm healing in out loud. But yeah, it's quite beautiful, but it's also, I guess there is also that moment of, of course there's that pain of what would have been, but time does not exist, so you can concurrently give to your children around you, to your community, what you need now and what you needed as a child. It's all connected, It's all connected. And it's really beautiful. Sorry for that emotional outburst. I don't know why I got so emotional.
Please bring that to the table.
Don't know what was going on there. I keep my emotions to where they are, but That one just
That's where
slipped
they
out.
are.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoy the content and the immersive co-creative processes with others. I have a question for you. What would it be like to fully trust your own perspective, your intuition, all of that beautiful insight that you've gathered over time, all of the healing work that you've done, all the interpersonal deep work that you've done? If you could fully trust that and feel that in your system, walk it without hesitation, without not making the right decision, without stopping yourself, without sabotaging yourself, what would that feel like? And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, please click on links below and keep it weird.